medium log supply to the Sawmill in Harbor, Quebec. Hello there everybody, and welcome to another special episode of SnowRunner here at Overfed Gaming. You're listening to the Overfed. Today we are in Lake Ribiere at the log station with our PLAD 450 in a little futon trailer, I think they call them, behind me, and we're going to load up with 2 loads of medium logs. Now we're going to go and deliver them to the Sawmill in Harbor, and it's a little ways away. But we need medium logs to be able to craft medium planks. You use short logs to craft short planks. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm sure they're going to tell us that we're going to need long logs to craft the long planks. Anyhow, we're going to need a few extra loads there because we've got some jobs that are coming up that need medium planks, and we have no more supply at the sawmill, so we have to go and pick up a couple of loads and bring them over there. Now we're just leaving the log yard, and it's a little bit swampy here, and they threw a few logs on the ground for us for traction. I don't know if it's really traction or if it's more trouble, because we're kind of bouncing over top of them and it's kind of hard to get going. You've got no speed going whatsoever. But then the PLAD is not a very fast truck to begin with, which is right up the Overfed's alley, because I don't like to drive too fast in SnowRunner, which you probably should anyhow. And with the PLAD you can go flat out, especially when you're going uphill and you're hauling a trailer and you got 2 loads of logs there. It's not going to run away on you, I'll tell you that. You're going to need every little bit of power that you've got in that truck to bring it up the hill. But the one good thing about the PLAD is he doesn't stop. He goes slow, but he doesn't stop. So he's a really good truck to have. You got the twin steer in the front, which really helps out. But of course, it's always nice if you turn when you're supposed to, like right here. We kind of missed the turn there. I wanted to take it a little bit wider anyhow, which is okay. But there you jockey it back and forth one more time here. We're just going to slowly climb up this hill here. Now she gets pretty steep up here in a second. And when you come down to the log yard, you really got to be careful. You got to put your truck into low gear, or you're going to have a problem with a runaway truck when you're coming down this hill. Just remember that if you got to go get logs in Lake Ribiere, and if you're playing in Quebec, you're going to be getting them. Anyhow, we're going to come up this hill here, and even this part is not too bad yet. The steep section is still coming. Just around this corner, we go a little bit higher. But we just take it easy and take it 1 foot at a time, I suppose. Now the PLAD's got plenty of fuel, plenty of power, plenty of torque. Got 240 liters left with 300, so we got, should have pretty close to enough, but we got spare, so we don't have to worry about if we run out of what we got to pay. Now this here part of the hill, this is the runaway part that I was telling you about. When you come down this hill, you won't be able to make that corner if you don't have it in low gear. Mind you, that corner that we just went through would be the least of your worries, because you'd be shooting off the bank here. I almost did one time when I was coming down. So ever since then, I've been driving slow going down, and well, going up you don't really have much of a choice. You're going to go slow whether you like it or not. It's a little bit of a pickle to get out of Lake Ribiere, but your troubles don't stop there. So this is one trip that you just gotta sit back, relax, and take it easy. It takes a little while to get it accomplished, but once we get these logs over to the sawmill and they manufacture some medium planks for us, then there's a couple more jobs that we can get done. Now, tough as the PLAD is, and he's a tough truck, he's one of the top trucks in my garage. Back her back down and take a new stab at it, but tough as the PLAD 450 is, even he needs a little bit of help once in a while. because as we get up here, we just cannot seem to get over that last little bit. And we just need a little bit of help. We'll hook the winch up to that tree and go over top of these last few rocks. And then we'll be moving again. Now earlier on in the game, you see the tracks go to the left, and there was a rock slide there that I cleared. I'm going over the detour part of that rock slide because after I cleared it, it didn't look all that great, so I just keep using the detour, which to me felt a little bit safer. Because that area where that rock slide was so narrow that I don't know if you could make it around the corner with the trailer behind you. But it doesn't matter because we were already by it. And we're almost at the tunnel to harbor. But we still got a little ways to go here. Here's one of our fuel trailers that we strategically placed on the map in case we need any fuel, but I think we'll be okay. Little did I know that we were almost not okay, because 170 some odd liters and then whatever we got a spare is not a lot of fuel. But we'll worry about that when the time comes. Now when you're climbing out of here, there's a big crack there in between the rocks, big opening, so you want to stay as close to the left hand side where the solid rocks are, because the hole gets a little bigger over. Just remember that when you're going through here. And then it's just a little bit of an angled little hill here going down. Just kind of let gravity pull you down. Then a turn to the left here, and we're almost at the tunnel. I find that over here, if you climb a little bit over to the side, to the right hand side, it's a little bit easier. Don't try to stay too close to the left. But, yeah, kind of in the middle, I guess. And as we get over the crest of the hill, we're going to be at the tunnel. There we go. Well, that's half the job under our belt. Well, here we are in Harbor, Quebec. Looks like we got a little bit of snow on top of the logs. Must have been sitting around for a little while, having a little nap. But we're on the move again. Now just up here, we're going to turn left and get down to ice level because we got to go part way up the map, and then we got to climb back up onto the hill to get to the main highway. You know, the one that where we worked for quite a while fixing and repairing all the bridges. Was a huge job, but boy did it ever pay off. Once that major artery was open, now running back and forth on the highway is a little bit easier, but we're over on the side, so we're going to climb down to ice level here, and then we're going to drive the ice north, and then we're going to cross over where it's solid. And just up ahead you can see where there's some solid ice that goes from right to left. And we're going to get over to the other side. Now you got to be careful when you're crossing the ice, and I always try to let people know, drive over whether it's a little bit darker, but it doesn't seem to make much difference because even the overfed goes through the ice more often than he would care to admit anyhow. Over here, a little bit too deep, kind of get stuck there. So rather than pushing it, just back it up and go in a little bit of a different direction. And just maybe go a little bit to the left, I suppose. And just kind of curl around to the right, because I think when I'm not sure how the ice is going to be, I always try to stay on the right hand side, or stay on the side of the cliff, on the edge. And if there's any trees like those ones laying on the ice over there, if there's any trees out there, take a look and see where they are, because sometimes they're placed in spots where if you get stuck you can winch on it. Now we got to get over to the left hand side here, so we got to cross the ice, and you can go on either side of that hole there, and either side is difficult. Either side will make you fall in a little bit, but you just got to kind of grin and bear it and try and drag your truck through there. Now, like I said, with the PLAD, he's not a fast truck, but he doesn't stop. He just keeps on grinding, just slowly. Keep grinding and always going forward. Now we're on the right side of the body of water there anyhow, the right side of the ice, and we're going to be climbing back up into the hill here. Because our climbing time is not over yet. And right over here we're climbing back out of the ice. Now this here part of the climb we've done, we've gone over here quite a few times, so we kind of got a little bit more familiar with the area. It doesn't seem to make much difference in the long run. Sometimes you still end up making the same mistakes over and over, but we try to do better every time we go through here. So as we're climbing up here, you'll notice that there's a little rocky ridge on the right hand side there, and that's where we got to stay up by that ridge. But you don't, it's like an S turn. First you got to go to the right, then you got to go to the left, and then you got to go to the right again. So you want to try and keep that back trailer, I think, as far over to the left as possible, so that you can make that next turn. So over here, I normally just go a little bit extra wide. We got to climb over that little hump between the rock and the tree. And then on the next turn, same idea again. Try and keep the trailer to the left side of the track so you can make that turn up ahead, because that's a pretty tight turn, and sometimes you have to jockey the truck back and forth. But it's important to take the turn wide so that you don't angle your truck to the left and flip it over, or flip your trailer. Don't want to do that either. Now normally I just go nice and wide here, and I just run over that tree and bring it back in again. But I couldn't quite bring it in quick enough, so we'll just jockey it. And then we just got that little muddy swamp area to go through, and once we're through that, we're back on the highway. Now, one thing I didn't pay attention to when I was doing this job was my fuel level. Now, not that it was a problem. We're not going to run out, because we're pretty close to where we got to be, and we got spare fuel on the roof yet, but I wasn't paying attention to it. 63 liters left in the tank. Well, here's the highway. I'm going to pull a tight right here. And then we just got a little ways to go. Now, when you get to the sawmill, there's two entrances. There's a back way, and then there's the main entrance. In the main entrance, you got to go around a mountain, and it's a little bit further down the road. So we're going to take the back way. And of course the back way is the way that's not quite as safe as the front way. as the main entrance. When you go into a back entrance, you always end up with tilted roads, or rocks, or boulders, or swampy areas, what have you. But we're going to find out. Now we're down to 50 liters, and I still hadn't noticed yet. I'm noticing it now, but I didn't notice it when I first ran it. It was amazing. Now just I believe just around the corner is where the turnoff is on the left-hand side. I just wanted to try the harder entrance, so I guess we'll see what happens here. Now you would think that once that little bar for your fuel gauge gets red, that you would pick up with by your eyes, right? That you would see that, but I never ever saw it. I can't believe that I drove all this without paying attention to that. I must have been too involved in the game, trying to keep the PLAD from running off the cliff here. So we got by there, and it looks like we're going to be all right. Just around the corner, there it is. Well, we made it. Another successful delivery. Absolutely awesome. Now, this wasn't the regular task. This was just something that we had to do to get ready for some upcoming tasks. Nevertheless, it's got to be done. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until the next time, you've been driving in a PLAD 450 hauling 2 loads of medium logs over to the Sawmill in Harbor, Quebec. With me as your driver, the Overfed.